so glad that you're with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. I am going to share another book with you all today. This is not the same as these books are falling. This is not the same as the Jabberwocky book, if you've been listening to that, so it's not a continuation of that. This is a children's story that I found that has to do with crafting and other yarny goodness in this case, right? So we are going to read today A Friendship Yarn by Lisa Moser. Badger and Porcupine met under the walnut tree and shared a pot of tea like they did every morning. As the day warmed up, Porcupine helped Badger rake leaves, and Badger helped Porcupine stir a big pot of apple butter. Badger sniffed the air. Winter weather is coming. That's a cold cup of tea, sighed Porcupine. I'll have to gather firewood. This is my last log. Don't worry, said Badger. I'll help you. You're such a dear friend, said Porcupine. The two friends walked into the woods to gather logs. Porcupine took the high trail. Badger took the low one. A peddler's cart jingle-jangled down the road. I wonder what's about to happen. A ball of yarn tumbled out and unrolled and unrolled and unrolled until a bright colored string of yarn stretched out the length of the woods. Porcupine picked up one end of the yarn. Far away, Badger picked up the other end of the yarn. Come back, called Badger. You lost your yarn, called Porcupine. Keep it, said the peddler, waving merrily. Don't have time to stop. It went everywhere. Badger looked at the yarn. I can pick up logs later. I'll use this yarn to knit a backpack for picnics with Porcupine. Badger ran home, jumped over her pile of books, and dove under her bed for her knitting needles. Porcupine looked at her yarn. Well, fill my sugar bowl. Who needs logs? This is exactly what I need to make a lovely tablecloth for tea time with Badger. She dashed home and pulled her knitting needles out of her tidy sewing basket. Clickety-click, snickety-snick went Badger's needles, but when she had only 3 stitches to go, the whole thing unraveled. Clickety-click, snickety-snick went Porcupine's needles, but when she had only 3 stitches to go, the whole thing unraveled. Floop, 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 floop. Porcupine followed the yarn to Badger's house. I think you have my yarn, said Porcupine. This is my yarn, said Badger. The peddler gave it to me. Well, flatten my cake, You're wrong, said Porcupine. The peddler gave it to me. She stomped back to her house. Oh, the pages stuck together. Hold on, guys. Ooh. Cookie crumble, said Porcupine. I'll make something for myself. A tail for my kite. Clickety-clack, snickety, clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. Oh, rain cloud, said Badger. I'll knit a hat to keep warm and dry. Too bad for Porcupine. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. A net to catch walnuts, said Porcupine, and I won't share any. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. Ooh. A hammock for me and just me, said Badger. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. A tent to hide in, said Porcupine, so I never have to see Badger again. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. Floop, 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 floop. Porcupine's always getting bonked in the head. A sail for my boat, said Badger, so I can sail far, far away from Porcupine. Clickety-click, snickety-snick. What do you think happens next? Floop, 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 floop. Badger pounded on Porcupine's door. Give me back my yarn. It's mine, cried Porcupine. Mine, yelled Badger. You're not my friend anymore, said Porcupine. I don't want to be your friend, and I don't want to be your neighbor, said Badger. I can fix this, said Porcupine. She went to her sewing basket and cut the yarn in half. I'm leaving, and I'm never coming back, yelled Badger, holding her yarn. Badger ran into the woods. Hours passed. Porcupine huddled by her empty fireplace. A snowstorm whistled down the chimney. Badger is my friend, and she will be cold and lonely out there. I have to help her. Porcupine pulled out her knitting needles. She headed into the cold, dark night. Badger hunkered down in an old log and worried. It's getting colder every minute, and Porcupine is out of firewood. She'll be freezing. She's my friend. I have to help her. Badger pulled out her knitting needles. She headed into the cold, dark night. Clickety, clickety, snickety, snickety, click, snick. Porcupine and Badger ran straight into each other. Well, polish my silver, said Porcupine. I found you. You're safe. Put on the sweater I knit for you. Quick, said Badger. It's freezing out here. Put on the sweater I knit for you. Porcupine and Badger admired their new sweaters. I'm sorry we fought, said Porcupine. Me too, said Badger. Will you come over for toast and apple butter, said Porcupine. Love to, said Badger, picking up a bunch of logs. You're going to need these. The two friends headed home together in the night that didn't feel so very cold or very dark after all. So, inside of the book jacket, it says, Badger and Porcupine were the best of friends. When Porcupine finds some yarn in the woods, she knits a beautiful present for her friend Badger. And when Badger finds yarn, she knits a beautiful present for Porcupine. But there's a problem. They're using the same yarn. The same very long piece of yarn. Soon a tug of war breaks out between the two, and their projects, as well as their friendships, begin to unravel. Can Porcupine and Badger set aside their differences and knit themselves back together? What do you think? Did they do a good job? I hope that you have enjoyed this. It is called A Friendship Yarn by Lisa Moser. And with that, I will let you go. Be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!